Hello cutie, and welcome back to another episode of More Than Friends. My name is Tashi, and with today's episode I actually wanted to help you with approach styles. I wanted to get more men out there, out in the world, approaching women and not being worried about coming off creepy or how to approach her, what's the best way to do it, and less fear of rejection, everything like that. I had an approach style that I want to share with you in hopes that this will help you out in your dating life. So today I wanted to tell you a story about an approach style that happened to me recently in order to help you understand from a female point of view what's going on in our minds and why this worked so well. What I love about this approach style is it happened at my gym. Approaching a girl at the gym, and I know a lot of people are worried about that because they're like, oh, I don't want to bother people, but there's a way to do it to where you can easily do it in a friendly way without like bothering a girl. You don't need to worry about that. I just feel like when you approach a girl in everyday life, it is just so much better, because when you approach a girl out in a club or a bar or things like that, like she is gonna be less open to the approach because her guard is gonna be up because she got ready that night. She knows she looks good. She knows she's gonna get approached by guys. So women have this like wall up a little bit because they're like, oh, like it's more out of safety, so don't get offended. They're just protecting themselves. They're not sure who's gonna approach them, when guys are coming up and talking to them, if they like them or not. So they're just on guard the whole time. But when you approach a girl at a gym, what's so great about this is her wall is down. She's not expecting to be approached out there. And especially if she's not wearing makeup, that's even better time to go up and talk to her, because she's more like, oh, she really wasn't expecting anyone to talk to her that day. And something about when a guy approaches me without makeup on, I'm like, wow, like, how cute. Like the guy's actually approaching me when I'm not even all done up. Like it makes me kind of like them a little bit more, because I'm like, wow, like he thinks I'm pretty, even just like my naked face. So what I loved about this approach is when you see a girl at the gym, you have a chance of seeing her again, usually. Like if you notice she comes in at the same time, like whenever you see that hot girl, just like look at the time, be like, oh, she might usually come in at 10 o'clock or whatever. And like take note of that and try to come in again at that time. So this approach that went so well, it was this guy who he came up to me at the gym and he did this technique that I love, where you don't need to worry about getting her number the first time you talk to her. If you know you're gonna see this girl again because you go to the same gym or something like that, you don't need to worry about like fully closing that first time. So this is what I loved about him, because he just like came up to me. I was like working out, but it was like a leg machine where you just like open and close. I wasn't like running on a treadmill. He came up to me where I'm just like, I'm sitting. I'm not doing anything very difficult, because if you come up to a girl where she's in the middle of like squats or like lifting something heavy or whatever, that's a bad time. She's gonna be annoyed that you're hitting on her. But if she's stretching or like she's getting water, or she's doing something where it's like she's relaxed, she's in a chill zone, it's perfect. So what the guy did is, I was doing this leg machine, open and close, and he came to the one next to me and he's like, oh, leg day too? And I was just like, yep, love leg day. I was like, I'm a weirdo, I actually do like leg day. And then he's like, oh shit, okay. And then like, he was just like, get it or whatever. Like just friendly banter, just a quick little, hey, I exist, girl. Like you're just letting her know like, hi, I'm a friendly guy, it's okay to talk to me. And then he went on with like his day. That was it that day. And it was just perfect. So I'm like, oh, he's not hitting on me. I think he's just being a friendly guy. Like, okay, like that guy's nice. So I remembered him now. I'm like, oh, that guy's dope. And what he could do, say you saw her the next day and like she was like leaving or whatever, if you wanted to like really build it up, you could just start saying like hi, like just like waving when you see her, because what happens is over time she's gonna keep on, oh, like we know each other, I should say hi back, like I did talk to him that one time, hi. So you're creating familiarity. But what's cool about this guy is the next time he saw me, because I came in at a way later time, so I think he was probably like, when am I gonna see this girl again? And been like a little bit. So then he finally saw me and he came up to me and he's like, hey, leg day girl. And I was just like, oh, hi. And he remembered like the last thing we talked about. And then I was like open to the approach, because I was like, wait, I remember this guy. He was sweet, he was friendly, he wasn't weird the first time I met him. There was no creepy vibes or anything like that. He was just like a friendly guy. And I think what was great about it is because he didn't try to hit on me the first time he talked to me, it actually made me more interested in him, because I was like, oh, like he was just saying hey, but like didn't care to like get my number that time. So I was like, if anything, you can actually trick her into liking you more. So then the second time he came up to me, he said, hey, leg day girl. And then I was like, oh, hey. And then I was just like, I was more into him because I was like, oh, what's up? Like this guy's cool. Like we're friends. I remember you. Familiarity, because he created that. He just started talking to me and he's like, oh, like, do you come here often? What classes do you take? I'm doing this, and tells me a little bit about himself. And then we almost have like a mini like little date, because he's like, oh, like, have you always lived in LA? And that's what I liked, is he didn't just stay on like gym topics. He like switched to like, oh, have you always lived in LA? So then now we're talking about LA and like where I'm from and where I was raised. So if you actually switch topics, what's good about that is she's getting to actually know you in a short period of time. She has like a little checklist in her mind of like, oh, he goes to the gym. Oh, his hobbies are this. He grew up here. Now, even just a few things right there creates comfort with a girl. And when you create comfort, then she's more willing to give you her number. That's why guys get mad, because they're just like, I went up to a girl, we had a good conversation, and like she gave me her number, because some girls will give you a pity number or just like a wrong number, which is messed up. But they'll do that because they're just like, they feel awkward. And then the guy's like, I reached out, I texted her, but she just ghosted me. She didn't even reply. But the reason why she didn't reply is because you didn't create comfort with her by changing the topic and making her feel like she actually knew you a little bit. So then when you actually text her later, when you got her number, then when you text her, if you actually change topics, then she would actually be more willing to hang out with you, because she feels like she kind of knows you a little bit now. And also by changing topics, you're more likely to get a number as well. So like sometimes a girl, like guys will be like, well, we had a good conversation, but she didn't want to give me her number. It's because you didn't create that comfort. So it also helps with getting the number. And then it also helps with like later when you do reach out to her, she's more willing to go on a date with you, because she's like, I feel like I know this guy. Because you have to remember, it's brainwashed into women that we are worried about our safety. It comes from like the caveman days. Like we're worried about being safe. So we need to feel like there's some comfort level with this man, and then they're willing to get all ready and all dolled up and dedicate a whole night to going on a date with you, because she feels like she knows you a little bit. So I just want you to see like a woman's way of thinking, so then you can understand why women are flakier. They don't text you back or things like that. It's mostly a lot of the time because there was no comfort created. Thank you so much for joining me today. And I'll have more tips and tricks coming soon. So, you know, tune in to more Than Friends with Tashi. And you can also talk to me on my account, which is Tashi, Tashie 999, and that's where we can actually have some one-on-one conversation and, you know, just like really get to know each other and feel each other out. I love you so much. Thank you.